Good morning. The time actually changed before I noticed it. I was looking on the other computer screen. The title for today is When We Stand Together, We Win. And the blurb, I woke up this morning still in theta dream state. I was at some event and America the Beautiful was playing. The music stopped. Yet I continued to sing the song beautifully to the end of verse 1. That surprised me, since there were other people there, and I don't sing in public. Anyway, remaining in that partially conscious state, I realize that we are winning. Yes, it does not always seem as if we are standing together. Yet Spirit was letting me know that from that higher perspective, we really are. Our Creator knows that most of us really do want positive change. We are united in that sense. And because of that, we win. And then I put a little parenthetical line in. Here's the link to the papers I filed on Monday. And I have that link, and it'll be on YouTube, and it'll be in the YouTube description. And also, of course, it'll be posted on Facebook for those of you that are interested in looking at some documentation. It's there. Anyway, I actually woke up really early. Like I got up at 12:30 last night after sleeping for a couple or 3 hours. And I was up for till about 2 o'clock, and then I went and laid back down again. So it was in that final little session where I did fall asleep that I woke up and had that dream at that, I don't know what event it was. There were people there, and I was like doing the solo. It wasn't just that I was singing, it was like no one else was, just me. And that, as I said in the blurb, puzzled me. But I've been feeling, as I've shared in recent videos, I've been feeling oftentimes like I'm standing alone. That so few people are actually standing with me to help me. And I feel like I'm up against Goliath, if you will. And I don't always feel as capable and prepared as I'd like to feel. I have the feelings that I've had oftentimes my whole life of not being good enough, lacking something. It's a sense, I think, that has been instilled in most of us as human beings. But I listened, or I actually read Uranus Retrograde, The Collapse of Satan's Pyramid, which is an astrological thing from my friend Salvador Russo. And I posted it on my Facebook page last night, and that's what I was looking at when I was ready to start today's video. But anyway, that was really uplifting for me. I mean, Salvador has a capability of putting the astrological happenings, like the Uranus retrograde, into a perspective that is very uplifting. I mean, at least a couple of times last year, I actually had his permission to read his piece on my YouTube video, and perhaps I might end up doing this one, although I haven't asked for, or of course not received permission to do that at this point in time. In any case, I have the sense that there's going to be, number one, there's going to be a lot of people helping me on this. And if you go to that link that I said I provided, at the bottom of the link are the 10 people that received this filing from Monday. Now, you're welcome to contact any of them. I do not have email addresses there. I did not take the time to look them up. I assume that there are email addresses. I just haven't had time to do it. Perhaps some of you that have some time might take some of those and post some email addresses, or send me the email addresses of those people so that I can post them. Because it's important, from my perspective anyway, that we let these people know that they are being watched, that they are being held accountable. Public servants, all of them are public servants. They all hold public office. And as public officers, they represent we the people. They are our servants. They don't see themselves as that most of the time. They see themselves as our authorities. And that is corruption. That is not the way it is. All government officials are public servants, all of them, and all of them derive their only just power from the consent of the governed. And as long as we don't say anything, we're giving consent. Silence is consent. So I invite you to stand with me, those of you that want to, and contact some or all of these people as you feel led, especially the policeman and the judge. They are probably the two most important ones of the 10 people on that list. And it doesn't hurt to do the sheriff either, although the sheriff deputy is of course one of the people named. But the sheriff has responsibility for the whole department, so that would be probably wise as well. Anyway, if you don't feel led, fine. I mean, we're gonna follow our heart. And Spirit's saying, Ron, not everybody can do the same thing, and then that's true. I heard that at the workshop. Everybody's doing what they're doing in their own way, based on their own perspective. And what I was getting, the message that I was getting this morning, is from Spirit's perspective. Spirit is recognizing, our Creator is recognizing, that we really do want to live in a world that works for everybody. Now, of course, the people that have been trying to rule things and the people that are scared don't see that, but there's a cry of the human heart that goes forth, and there's a flame of freedom that's burning in the human soul that is recognizable from the higher dimensions. And there's a prayer, it's even sometimes an unconscious prayer in humanity that goes forth. And the Uranus upgrade and the collapse of Satan's pyramid, as Salvador calls it, is uplifting because it shows that the alignment of planetary bodies has to do with our conscious awareness. Not that affects it, but that our consciousness actually, it's sort of like mirroring each other. They're mirroring each other. It's not that one, if either causes the other, it's the fact that human consciousness is creating the change. But it's almost like you can't tell which came first, the chicken or the egg, because they're so conjoined in essence. And this is the thing that Spirit is looking at. This is the thing that drives the reality that we experience. And so I had the awareness that we're winning. And I woke up again with a peace in my heart. Now, I did call the bankruptcy court yesterday and arrange to be able to call them on the phone and attend the meeting on the phone. And that's good. And I have a very strong feeling that everything is going to go very well with that whole procedure. It's going to be very interesting. I also received yesterday some very important paperwork regarding my land patent. Do I have that? I wasn't going to look at that, but maybe I should. Where is it? All right, I didn't put it aside. I have it printed out, but I don't see the paperwork on that right offhand. In any case, a land patent can only be challenged in by the federal government itself. And the federal government is sworn to uphold and defend land patents. No state court, no state police force or agency has any jurisdiction whatsoever in property protected by a land patent. That was beautiful to know. And I even have the paperwork to file with the Attorney General of the United States, who is sworn to protect land that has a land patent on it, as mine does. That information is a bombshell to show to the bank and to the courts and to the bankruptcy court, although I didn't send that to them. It's something that can be sent to them as evidence, I'm sure. And it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out, because I had the very strong sense yesterday that this thing with my house is close to being finished. The land patent thing just was like the nail in the coffin of those that have been trying to steal my property. And it's an exclamation point. No, you can't do that. It's against the law. And I have other laws that protect it too, but they've run over those. We'll see how this thing plays out. But there are so many of us. The point is, there are so many of us that recognize the injustices and are crying for justice. There are so many of us that are experiencing lack, and we're crying for fulfillment. And all of these things that we're crying out for, all of these things that we're recognizing, whether consciously or unconsciously, it's being read by the powers that really are, which is the godly powers that really do have everything under control, despite how it appears. It's being read by them to our advantage. And that's the sense that I have in my heart today, this morning, that we're going to do this, folks. We're doing it. Not we're going to. It's all, in many respects, it's already done. It's a done deal. Yes, we still have to walk through it. I'm still encouraging people not to put their head in the sand. I'm still encouraging people not to be in denial, to look at the facts, to ask Spirit how you personally are supposed to take your stand, because we do need to stand in truth. We do need to stand in love. But we need to recognize as well the reality of the world that we're living in and take responsibility for all of the things that are wrong with it, and work in whatever way that we can to making the changes that are necessary in our individual lives, and working with others, helping each other. It's been put on my heart over the past couple of weeks to help some of my brothers and sisters that are struggling in ways that I wouldn't normally do. Giving out some of my tithe money that I haven't been giving to the church that I used to attend. I stopped giving tithes there, and so I had a little bit of a tithe slush fund, shall we say. Not a huge amount of money, but enough money that I was able to help some people over the past couple of weeks. And this is a beautiful thing. Instead of giving it to some organization, some church that's wanting to do its own thing, I've turned and giving it to people that have needs instead. I wish I had more to give, and someday I will. I know I will. We all will. But help each other in whatever way we can. Someone brought me some food a couple of days ago. Had some food and wanted to share it with me. And I appreciate little tokens, little gifts. You're reaching out and you're helping. This is really important, that you get involved, not just in your own thing, but that you recognize the issues that others are having, and you ask, how can I help them too? It's not just being so wrapped up in your own issues that you can't help anybody else. It's really important to reach out and help somebody else, even when you're in tremendous need yourself, to help someone else, to reach lend a hand out and say, I want to help you. I can do this, even if it's just a little bit, because it's not the quantity, it's the quality of what you're doing that makes a difference. And these things are read by Spirit, and they go into our account for positive change, for good to come upon the world. And we're doing it. We're succeeding. I think I'm not going to say very much more. I think I'm at the end of today's message. As always, I'm grateful for you listening, for you sharing the video if it speaks to your heart, for your comments, even if it's a negative comment. I don't like them as much, I admit it, but I like the fact that even people that don't like what I'm doing are paying attention. And whether they know it or not, seeds are being planted even when they have a bad motive for listening to my videos. Spirit's planting seeds, and it's all good. I leave you with these things, and I thank you again. Namaste. Bless you.